Yo, Hideyuki here, the Rebelling Rose, one chain to oblivion, returning yet again with another excellent video. Today we are going to be doing another Visual Kei album review, and this time we're going to do a retro album review. So we're going to be taking a look at the debut album for Madeth Grey'lls. Man, this is going to be very interesting. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while now. I've wanted to try out some older bands and just go through their music and really see how well it holds up. So with this album, right, Madeth Grey'lls Lucifer, this released on March 29th of 2000. It's a full album with 10 main tracks and an extra bonus quote-unquote secret track. The concept of the band was to portray a paradise of dying madness, as they call it. And it has a lot of punk influenced sound, some bits of extreme metal thrown in. So, with that being said, let's take a look into each track and see how well the album accomplishes that concept for the band, as well as seeing how well the album holds up in retrospect. The intro track of the album, Seimei no Shuuen, opens up with a bell toll ringing and my favorite things playing on piano. Along with some of the la la vocals and narration also in the background.
思い出の異空間君を埋葬したこの花園には幼い罪人たちが
This track definitely sets a sad tone, and you can tell this was done in tribute for someone. But it will not prepare you for the craziness that transpires for the rest of the tracks. The second track, titled Zwei, starts off with a baby crying in the background and Hisui doing whatever the hell weird noise he's doing right now. The rest of the track is just Hisui doing even more weird vocals with a lot of aggressive, high energy guitar playing. And the problem with this track is that it focuses on Hisui's vocals so much, but to me, it just sounds like he's trying too hard to be edgy and to fit their theme. And half the time, it just sounds like the man's struggling to, put any vocals out and just screaming into the mic for the purpose for doing it with no real intent. So for me, it comes across as a very repetitive song after a while. The third track, Maria, is another track I feel like is trying to be edgy for the sake of it. Take a quick listen. The song has a lot of repetitiveness with the drums. It's very monotone in the beginning. The rest of it also just doesn't hold water. Again, I feel like with Hisui, you can tell it's very one note with his voice, kind of monotone. and what have you. The fourth track, Kokushichou no Hanataba, is quite different from the last two. Here we're using different sounds from instruments like a sansan or the organ. And that's what makes it stand out from the others. And with this, Hisui's vocals don't sound as one note. It feels like it has a little more weight to it. And there's also a nice guitar solo in this one as well. The fifth track, Tsuioku, is just like the intro track. It starts with the bell ringing, the piano being played. The entire track is like this. In fact, it serves as an interlude for the middle of the album. The song itself is okay, nothing great, but I do like that they kept the consistency, referencing the title track. The sixth track, Lucifer, starts right off with something you would hear straight out of Castlevania. The vocal work here is getting very, very good. It's much more well balanced, and you can tell Hisui is on it. But the real hero is definitely the guitar riff for the track, and making it easily one of the best tracks on the album. The seventh track, M, starts very upbeat, has lots of energy, and of course with Hisui's crazy ass vocal range. The rest of the song follows suit with that, of course. There's a lot more harsh vocals, more typical, with extreme metal. The drums and the guitars, they play especially well here. But for me, the vocals are a miss. That's what makes this track such a mixed bag. Like, the instrumentation is exceptional. But again, Hisui and his harsh vocals just feel kind of thrown in there for the sake of it. And for me, I'm like, be shocking with purpose, not just for the hell of it. The eighth track, Ray, starts off with some pretty disturbing crying. Afterwards, it slowly changes into nervous laughter and breaks out into some straight up punk rock full force. Again, the instrumentation is very good. This is definitely something pulled not just from punk, but a little bit from extreme metal. And Hisui's vocals are a lot better here. It's more balanced. The screams don't feel just thrown in there, like they have more impact. And it's a step up from M for sure. I mean, his vocal range here is kind of insane, but in a good way. You know, just take a look at this, for example. Like, his voice sounds like a fucked up guitar, and I love that. The ninth track in the Zalemu starts out the gate very ghostly, you know, has a sad tone with the guitars, you got some energy in the drums. Afterwards, it goes into more of a mellow, softer vibe with Hisui's vocals, and you know, you can hear that bass line throughout. It's pretty much a cool down track, especially coming from how aggressive Ray and Am are, and sets up the album to close out. The 10th track, Evil in Lucifer, has a very interesting sound. Let's put it that way. Take a quick listen. I kid you not. This entire track is 2 minutes straight of this piano and that baby crying in the background. I don't care how artistic you think you are, how clever you think you are, how pretentious you may think. This is not music. This is not art. This is just fucking annoying at this point. You know, no one wants to hear that for 2 minutes straight. You know, y'all are lucky that I only played it for 20 seconds because, my God, that track is easily the worst on this list. It could be cut out so easily. The final track, the 11th secret track, Chizome no Kigeki, is another heavy-hitting punk track with lots of crazy vocals from Hisui, again, of course. I have to say, it's a nice bonus track and is a whole lot better than Evil in Lucifer. Awesome energy in the song and is good for replay value. So, alright, with all of these tracks reviewed and gone over, what are the standouts? The main ones that stood out to me the most were Kokushichou no Hanataba for the use of different and unusual instruments, Lucifer for its upbeat energy and awesome riff, Ray for its aggressive punk feel, and the secret track for the same reason, great replay value and an awesome aggressive song. So, my final thoughts on the album as a whole, and in retrospect, does the album accomplish the concept? And for me, yes, it does accomplish the concept of Paradise of Dying in Madness. Tracks like Ray are good examples of that. You know, they're portraying someone in fear, right? And then they slowly open up and get that nervous laughter and they start to accept the madness. There are some tracks that are definitely a miss, you know, like track 10 or some of the early tracks that feel a little forced and monotone in some parts. But generally speaking, the album hits strongly in the midpoint towards the end and has some pretty dope music all around. Looking at this album without the context of the band's history is just as important. because that way you can look into the music without being influenced by their story or by their background. And later you can, of course, take that into consideration and get a deeper understanding. But I feel like it's always better to judge the music for the music, not for the story behind the music. Um, but either way, I think the music speaks for itself. It shows why Madeth Grey'll paved the way for the Matane label and why it has such devoted fans even to this day. So with that being said, Hideyuki here, the Rebelling Rose, and until next time, I'll see you.